happy beginning of the week, end of the weekend, or if you're viewing this later, happy whatever day it is in the future. We're going to begin by coming into a cross-legged position, starting to switch our hat by tapping into the breath. So when you get to your comfortable seat, we will sit up nice and tall, lifting out of the pelvis, maybe moving the glutes off to the side to feel the sits bones really reach down into the ground. We gently close the eyes and start to tap into the breath. I want to apologize in advance for the potential of hearing my back door. On really windy days, it sounds like a chainsaw. The joys of virtual classrooms. So beginning to tap into the breath, we inhale through the nose, bringing a mindfulness to the breath, feeling the coolness of the air as it enters the nostrils. And the warmth and maybe release on the exhale. Once you feel like you've gotten a good rhythm with your breath, maybe turn your attention to the body, doing a physical scan, beginning at the toes and feet, our foundation, working your way up to the crown, the face. Noticing without judgment how the body feels. After you've completed your body scan, I would invite you to begin lengthening your exhales longer than your inhales, really drawing that belly button back towards the spine, starting to warm up and engage the abdomen. We're going to take movements during our practice today that's going to focus on detox, digestion. This is always a great way to start the week and close out any weekend chapters. Let's take 3 more breath cycles. So full inhale, full exhale equals a breath cycle. And after your last exhale, gently open the eyes. If you're not in a cross-legged seat, let's come there. I'll give you just a moment. Hands are going to fall to the knees, palms face down if they are not already. And we're going to start warming up the spine with some spinal circles. So we've done this before. First, we'll turn to shoot the belly button towards the right thigh. Bending at the hip, but keeping the left glute connected to the earth, we lean forward, bringing the chest right above the knee. We swim the chest through center until we are over the left knee, and we round through the spine like we do in our cat-cows, closing out the circle until the belly button and chest come back over the right leg. So move at your own pace here. Keeping an awareness in the hips, both hips and sits bones staying connected to the mat. I would invite you and encourage you to close your eyes so that you can just feel your way through this movement. Abdomen stays engaged so that we are protecting the low back, the spine. Finish out whatever circle that you are on. We pause at the back end of our circle, so deep rounding through the spine, chin is dropped towards the chest. And we take it to the other side. So we'll shoot belly button towards left thigh, chest comes over left knee, swinging through center. And concaving the back to finish out the circle. Staying conscious and aware of where the shoulders are. Drawing them down away from the ears at all points in our circle. You can pick up the pace if that feels natural, or just take it nice and slow and gentle. Let's do one more complete circle ending at the back. And inhale, we'll bring ourselves right up to a seated position. Inhale, both arms come up overhead. We're going to cactus arms on the exhale. So nice and wide, hands are nice and wide as we draw the elbows 90-degree angle in line with the shoulders. Inhale, arms come back up overhead. Exhale, cactus arms, maybe bringing the chin in line with the shoulders. Inhale, arms up overhead, biceps by the ears. Exhale, cactus arms. We pause at our angle, and then gently we draw both elbows into the side body, dropping the hands right by the hips. Left hand stays down by the mat. Inhale, right arm comes up and over towards the left side of the mat, side body stretch. When we're here, we wrap the shoulder blade around and down the back, opening the armpit wide in front of us. Exhale, belly button draws back to spine as we take it to the other side. Right hand drops, left hand up and over. When we get there, we check our neck, making sure we're not dumping our weight into the neck. Shoulder blade wraps around the back body and down, shining the armpit out towards the front. Exhale, back through center, over to the other side. Exhale through center, left arms turn, maybe you turn to look up at the ceiling. And one more time on each side. Exhale brings you through center and over towards the left. Excellent. Exhale draws you back through center. Left hand kisses down before both arms come up. On the inhale, exhale, right hand is dropping to the left knee, left hand behind us in space as we find a seated twist. We're drawing the belly button over towards the left thigh, twisting from the torso, the deep abdomen, instead of yanking from the shoulders. Sending the breath down into the belly. And exhale, we unravel Again, both arms come up overhead on the inhale, biceps are right by the ears. Exhale, left hand to right knee. Right hand drops behind us in space as we find our twist. Bringing an awareness to that left shoulder, drawing it down away from the ear, encouraging that stretch in the front of the neck. If you need a little bit more, you can drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Exhale draws you back through center. We inhale, both arms come up overhead. Exhale, we start to bend from the hips, from the hip joints. Glutes, sits bones stay right on the mat as we begin to fold into a cross-legged forward fold, arms out in front of you above the head. We begin to drop the forehead down to the earth, feeling the shoulder blades widening across the back. Maybe the skin there expanding on the inhale. If this is uncomfortable, you can always walk the hands back closer towards you, keeping the head and chest elevated. If you're here, we'll shine the elbow creases towards the front of your mat or out in front of you. Encouraging this rotation in the shoulders, drawing the shoulder blades together and down the back body. So we're here. Maybe we're here, down on the forearms. Maybe arms are extended out long, forehead dropping to the mat. We're here for one more breath cycle, full inhale, full exhale. Stay for the inhale. And exhale, we use our hands to begin walking ourselves back up, engaging the abdomen as we do to protect the low back. We're going to roll onto our back, coming up into a supine position. When you get there, knees are coming up to the chest. We interlace the fingers around the shin. Belly's nice and heavy. We check our alignment. Shoulder blades are tucked together underneath the heart space. Both shoulders are pinned down to the mat. Chin is tucked slightly to the chest. We inhale, feeling the weight of the belly, the connection of the low back to the mat, and we begin to rock gently side to side. Keeping the belly nice and heavy. There's so much happening internally, so many organs that are happening in the low abdomen, and even making connections down into the pelvis in front of the thighs. So this gentle massaging movement is so great for digestion and detox. Let's come back to center, finding a moment of stillness with a deep inhale. And a long exhale. Starting to slowly release, dropping the soles of the feet to the mat at the end of your exhale. Beautiful. Left foot is going to stay on the mat. Heel is pulled up to the glute as close as possible. We press and transfer our weight into the left sole, drawing the right foot ankle up and over the left thigh, right above the knee. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can always bring right knee to left knee, crossing the legs as if you are sitting at a desk. And we'll move that way. Otherwise, we'll all come to a figure 4 shape. We inhale, and on the exhale, we'll lift left foot off the mat. Shin comes parallel to the earth. If this is enough for you, we'll stay here. Otherwise, together, we'll interlace our fingers behind the left thigh. Gently tugging that left knee towards the face. We come back to our breath. Check the alignment in the upper body, the connection and weight in the belly, the mid-body. We need a little more. We'll press the right elbow into the inside of the right thigh. Now we'll incorporate just a bit of movement. So we're squeezing that left knee towards the face. On your next inhale, we'll straighten the left leg. Ooh, drawing the toes down towards the face. Stay for the inhale, and then exhale, we lower back to our shin parallel to the earth, back to our 90-degree angle. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Exhale helps you soften. You stay here for the inhale. Exhale, lower to your figure four. One more time. Inhale, straighten. Stay for your exhale and the next inhale. And lower. On your exhale, gently releasing the fingers, we'll draw the left sole down onto the mat. Hands come out wide to a T as we drop both knees over towards the left. Both shoulders stay connected with the mat. And send the breath down into the belly. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, we draw abdomen or belly button towards the spine. Engage the abdomen as we draw ourselves back up to all fours. We unravel, bringing the right sole down to the earth. Transferring the weight into the left foot. So we press down through the right sole as we lift the left leg up to bring ankle on top of the right thigh, just above the knee. Stay here if this is enough for you, or if it's too much, bringing that knee to knee crisscross like you're seated in a chair. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, we use the abdomen, so we're drawing the belly all the way down to the mat, all corners of the back, the low back, making connection, and we pull right leg parallel to the earth. Figure four. Interlacing the fingers behind the thighs. We draw the right knee towards the nose. Finding that sweet spot with our legs, we check the alignment in the upper body. Both shoulders are pinned down to the mat. Shoulder blades are tucked and snuggled right underneath the heart space. Both feet are active. Toes are drawing up towards their shins. And we start to sync up movement. So inhale, straightening that right leg. Toes draw down to the face. Stay for the exhale. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, we lower back to our figure four shape. Inhale, straighten the leg. Draw the toes. Stay for the exhale. And your next inhale. Exhale, we lower. Inhale, straighten that right leg. Toes come down towards the face. Exhale, lower. Gently we release the fingers, letting the sole kiss to the mat, and then letting both knees fall over to the right. Arms come out wide to a T as we actively keep connection with the earth in both shoulders. Stay for one more inhale. Exhale, we engage the abdomen, drawing ourselves back up through center. We unravel the legs, soles kiss together as we open knees wide, recline bound angle. Let's rest the hands either on the tops of the thighs, giving slight muscle compression. So we're using the heel of the hand to gently press into the glute muscle, or the muscle in the front of the thigh, the quads. Or we bring both hands to the low abdomen. Elbows nice and wide, palms making connection with the belly. When we breathe deep into the belly, if your hands are there, we can feel the full expanse of the abdomen on the inhale. And that release and relaxation on the exhale. We're here for 2 more breath cycles, really allowing that release in the groin, the low abdomen, the hips. And after your last exhale, we'll bring hands to the outside of the thighs, gently guiding the knees back together. We drop both knees over to the left as we curl onto the left side of our body, coming almost into fetal position. We use the left arm as a pillow as we tuck it right up underneath our ear. If you have a folded blanket or a block that you'd like to use, you can definitely use that instead. Arches are kissed together, so feet right now are stacked on top of each other. We'll take the top leg and bring the heel right in front of the toes of the bottom leg. So now we have 1 foot in front of the other. Lower leg is going to bend at the knee, heel drawing up towards the glute. If it feels natural and right to reach around and grab the top of the foot, the toes of the foot, that's great. Once you feel comfortable in your position here, we'll gently start to slide that top leg until it is parallel with the long edge of the left side of the mat. If you want to bend that knee to give yourself a little more support, you certainly can. We again engage the toes of the top leg to exaggerate and encourage that stretch in the hamstring and the IT band. If being on your arm in this way is uncomfortable, maybe you've had a shoulder injury or it just doesn't feel good today, you can always bring yourself up onto the elbow. If you do this, make sure you're pressing into the elbow, lifting away from the yoga mat, lifting out of that shoulder joint. Otherwise, we'll take a more relaxed, restorative twist. We're here for one more breath. And on the exhale, lower body's going to stay where it's at, whatever your placement is. On the exhale, we're gently going to allow that right shoulder to twist open, both shoulders shine up towards the earth. Right shoulder makes contact with the mat. So we now are finding ourselves in a new reclined twist. We send the breath down into the belly, feeling the skin of the low back and the abdomen, maybe even the front of the hip. Really expanding and stretching. The internal organs are twisting, draining, detoxing. Because we are doing some gut health movements, you feel some other gut movements, that is okay and totally natural, and one of the joys of a whole practice. You don't have to worry about that. We're here for one more breath. Full exhale. Gently releasing at the end of our exhale. We come back onto our left side just to unravel, straightening that lower leg, drawing the top leg back to meet the arch of the other. We roll onto the other side by gently coming onto the back and right on through to the right. So arm tucks right up underneath our ear. Legs are straight or slightly bent at the knees, stacked on top of each other. We draw the top leg down in front of the bottom leg, so heel to toes, just to find stability. Back leg heel draws up to the glute, keeping it here if that's comfortable, or reaching around to clasp the front of the toes. And we slide the top leg out until it is parallel with, or excuse me, perpendicular with the long edge of the mat. And we breathe into the fronts of the hip on the bottom leg, the IT band, glute, and low back on the upper leg. Stay here for one more breath. And on the exhale, lower body stays where it's at as we open the chest, shining up towards the ceiling. Left shoulder kisses down to the mat as we find ourselves in a reclined twist. Maybe the right arm comes out into a half T at your side. We stay for one more inhale. Exhale, we curl back onto the right side as we unravel. We're going to keep rolling all the way through until we find ourselves right on our belly. Easy transition. Feet come hip width apart as we bring the forehead right down to the mat. Knees are engaged so that we are active through our legs, our foundation, so that we can be soft in our upper body and abdomen. Hands come right underneath the shoulders.
Forehead is kissed to the mat. We inhale, and on the exhale, elbows stay tight as we press into the fingertips, drawing the chest, belly, lastly, the head into cobra. Exhale, we fold. Inhale. Exhale. We begin to rise. Head is the last thing to lift. Shoulders are drawn down away from the ears. We're active in the legs. Pelvis is tucked slightly towards the earth. Exhale, fold. Let's do one more. Inhale as forehead kisses the earth. Exhale, we rise. Legs are super active. We feel this big stretch in the front of the abdomen. Exhale, fold. Left arm comes out wide to a half T, palm kissed down to the mat. Right hand comes out next to us as we come up onto the fingertips, bringing a 90-degree angle at the elbow, elbows in line with the shoulders. Inhale, and on the exhale, we're pressing into the right hand, lifting the chest off the mat. Front of the left shoulder is pinned down to the mat. We turn to look up towards the ceiling. Stay here if this is enough for you, or if you need a little bit more and a little bit more of a twist. We lift the right leg, drawing it up and over to make contact on the toes off the left side of the mat. Knee draws up towards the ceiling. Exhale, we unravel, gently drawing that leg back over. If it's bent, we take it to the other side. Right arm comes out long to a half T. We bend at the left elbows, coming up onto the fingertips of the left hand, elbows in line with the shoulders. We inhale. Exhale, pressing into the left fingertips. We rotate the chest up towards the ceiling. Right shoulder stays pinned down to the mat. Staying here if this is enough for you, or we lift that left leg, drawing it up and over off the left side of the mat, drawing the knee up towards the ceiling. Exhale, we release. Hands come back underneath the shoulders. We curl the toes under, stay for the inhale. Exhale, we power up to plank. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, we send hips up high, coming into our first downward dog. Pedal it out if you need to. We're just going to do a few standing twists, detox poses today. Stay for one more inhale. Exhale, we're stepping the right foot up in between the hands, dropping the left knee down to the earth. Toes can stay curled, or we bring the top of the foot down to the mat. Checking your alignments. Right knee is right above the right ankle. We're light on the fingertips. Belly comes right next to that right thigh. Gaze is forward. Stay for one more inhale, settling into your foundation. Exhale, we press into the top foot, rising, bringing the arms up overhead, biceps are by the ears. Stay for the inhale to grow tall, maybe sinking a little bit deeper into that lunge, exaggerating the stretch in the front of the hip. Maybe you take a slight back bend, widening the arms, opening the chest. On the exhale, palms kiss together, left elbow is coming to the outside of the right knee for a deep twist as we shoot the heart space towards the thumbs. If that doesn't feel good, or not something that you feel is best for your body, you can always bring the outside or the left hand to the outside of the right knee, drawing the right hand behind you in space or keeping it right on the hip. And finding a twist that way. Belly button draws towards the right thigh. We're here for one more breath cycle. Big inhale. Long exhale. We release on the next breath, bringing the arms back up overhead. And on the exhale, we begin to lower, dropping left hand by the right arch. And then we swing right arm up towards the ceiling. Chest is wide open. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, right hand replaces left as we open left arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, left hand lowers. We come to frame the foot. We curl the toes of the back leg under, lifting the back knee. So now we are in a full lunge. Inhale, exhale, we power through that right leg, rising up into our high lunge. Exhale, lower, framing the foot. Right hand comes to the inside of the right arch as we lift up onto the heel of the right toe, right foot, pivoting the right toes towards the long edge of the mat as we swivel into a wide-legged forward fold. When you get there, big toes are pointed into the midline slightly, rotating the hips externally, lifting them up towards the ceiling. We drop the crown towards the earth. Palms come down to the mat if that feels comfortable, or you can stay up on the fingertips. We're bending from the hips, abdomen, belly button is drawn back towards the spine. We're pressing into the outer edge of the foot, drawing energy up from the arches, through the midline, the inner thigh. On your next exhale, right hand is coming to the midline, so like right underneath your forehead. Stay for the inhale, and on the exhale, we're pressing away from the yoga mat until that right arm straightens. We lift out of that right shoulder joint and open left hand up to the ceiling. If that feels impossible, we bring the left hand to the hip and open the chest towards the left side of the body. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, left hand replaces right as we take it to the other side. So we straighten that left arm, lift up out of the shoulder joint. We run the right fingers across the chest until they open up towards the ceiling. Chest is wide open. Big inhale down into the belly. Exhale, right hand comes down to meet the left as we sink back into our forward fold. Crown shines down towards the earth. We stay for one more inhale. And exhale, we start to walk the hands over to the left foot as we lift onto the left heel, rotating the left toes towards the front of the mat. We come into our low lunge on the other side. So we drop the back knee, either keeping the toes curled, or we bring the top of the foot down to the mat. Left knee is right above the left ankle. We're light on the fingertips. Belly is right by the thigh. Gaze is forward as we draw the shoulder blades together and down the back body. So we're creating this line from the crown all the way to the tail, compressing the front of the hip, exaggerating the stretch in the front of the right hip. Stay for one more inhale. And exhale, we power up, biceps right by the ears as the fingers point up to the sky. Maybe we sink back down a little deeper into that lunge. Maybe we lean the upper body back slightly, widening the handstands, opening the chest. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, palms kiss together. We find our twist, either elbow to the outside of the left knee, right hand to the outside of the left knee with left hand shooting back in space, or left hand on the hip. Heart space is shooting towards the thumbs if elbows to outside of the knee is part of your twist. We're pressing down firmly into our foundation, that which is touching the earth. One more inhale. Exhale. We unravel. Hands come back up overhead for the inhale. Exhale, both hands drop down, framing the foot, right hand next to the left arch as we then open the left hand up towards the ceiling. Stay for the inhale. Exhale, left hand replaces right as we open right arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, left or right hand replaces left. As hands come to frame the foot, we curl the toes of the back foot, lifting that back leg. Hands come down to the mat as we draw the left foot back to meet the right, sending the hips up high, downward facing dog. Let's take a nice wide stance so the outsides of the feet meet the edge of the mat. Just like in our forward fold, the toes point in slightly, so we're really encouraging this external rotation of the hips, this lift in the glutes up towards the ceiling. Let's take 3 breath cycles here, really allowing a release in the low back. One more. After your next exhale, we're going to slowly walk our hands back to meet our feet, maybe watching and feeling that connection on your way down. When you get there, you're in this slightly wider or forward fold. We transfer the weight into our heels as we pull the toes outwards, spilling off the mat, and we sink our hips right in between the heels, coming into a yogi squat. Hands come together at the heart space as we squeeze knees into elbows, elbows into knee. We let the tail reach down to the earth, the crown reach up towards the ceiling, heart space is forward. So good for digestion, detoxing, creating movement in the abdomen. Stay for 2 more breath cycles here, really allowing that softening and release in the hips. Full exhale. After your exhale, we'll gently release, hands down to the mat as we rock forward onto the toes, drawing the knees down to the mat. Big toes are going to come together. We'll end today in extended child's pose, knees out wide, hips sink all the way back to the heels as we melt belly, chest, and forehead down to the mat. Let's take one more conscious breath cycle together, full inhale. And a long exhale. Stay here for however long your day will allow. Drink water, maybe take some more twists right before bed. And come back to this practice often when you feel that you need a little pick-me-up or a little detox. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time.